Harihi Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryan Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamasu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. We continue with the discussion of the Paravasta forms. Hare Krishna. Text 52 to 56. But we will summarize this discussion. It is basically repetition and further elucidation of what we have spoken yesterday. Rupa Goswami explains that amongst all forms of the Lord, Krishna only gives liberation to the demons he kills. So all the forms of God, they give liberation to the devotees. But to the demons, only Krishna. And the reason and the example, the pramana, the proof is the pastime with Jaya and Vijaya when they appeared, specifically here. The example is given with Jaya, who appeared 3 times as Hiranyakashipu, as Ravana, and then as Shishupal. And he attained liberation by Krishna when he was born as Shishupal. Because Krishna emanated this special Shakti of attractiveness, which only can absorb the mind. Because we are attracted to something that is attractive, right? The mind can be absorbed only in something that is very attractive. Therefore, Hare Krishna. Therefore, our struggle is to become attracted to Krishna, because once we experience the beauty of Krishna, his wonderful qualities, his compassion, his mercy, etc., then our mind will be absorbed naturally in him. So the first couple of verses, they repeat the same topic. And then text 65. Another example given by Parashara. So here there is a discussion from Vishnu Purana between Maitreya and Parashara. And so, having stated this, Parashara remembered that Krishna liberated Putana during his childhood years, whereas Kalanemi was not liberated by the Lord's activities in another form, as a Jita. So this is another example. Putana was liberated, Kalanemi was not. Did you find 65? Okay.
Yeah.
He then says, Ayam hi Bhagavan. Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan. Since Krishna is famous as Swayam Bhagavan, he immediately attracts the mind of both devotees and demons. Therefore, his glorification in this way is not surprising. And then text 68 and 69, they open a new discussion. It's a sub-discussion, it's a subtopic inside this generic discussion that Krishna is the supreme amongst all forms, Paravasta. Now hear about Krishna being the cause of manifestation of all names. Some names of Narayana are used equally for Narayana and Krishna with the same cause. Some names are used for Krishna with a different cause. So here there is a distinction also between Narayana and Krishna. Although it is the same person, we shouldn't make too much a distinction, because Narayana is Krishna also. But still, the distinction is made to explain that Krishna is the Supreme. Krishna stu Bhagavan Swayam. And another aspect of this supremacy is that in the names, which are not different from the Lord, also there are different categories of names. Some are generic, they can be used for Krishna and for Narayana. And some are Hare Krishna, specifically used only for Krishna.
For example?
Examples. Text 70-71. Examples of names used for both Vishnu and Krishna with same cause are Daityari, enemy of demons; Pundarikaksha, lotus-eyed one; Shangi, holder of the bow; Garuda, Vahana, rider of Garuda; Pitambara, he who wears yellow cloth; Chakrapani, he who holds the chakra; Srivatsanka, he who is ornamented with the Srivatsa; and Chaturbhuja, the Lord with 4 arms. So these are used for both Krishna and Narayana. Because he is the son of Vasudeva, Krishna is called Vasudeva. So these are now the names that are specifically used for Krishna. Because he comes in the dynasty of Madhu, he is called Madhava. Now names whose cause is specifically Krishna alone are explained. Krishna is called Vasudeva and Damodara for these specific reasons. Also there are other names. For example, a little later, Parashara will give an example of, not sure, maybe Rupa Goswami. Adokshaja. Adokshaja is the name of Krishna, which means, has different meanings. This meaning that is given here is born from beneath the axle of the cart. That's Adokshaja. Mm-hmm. Who is born there? Krishna is not born there in a literal sense. First of all, Krishna is never born. He's eternal. We all eternal. But it refers to the pastime. Krishna, sleeping beneath the cart, killed the angry, strong, ferocious demoness Putana with huge body, who, wearing the dress of a nurse, had given her breasts covered with poison to him. When the cowherd people saw the dead demoness and concluded that Krishna had been reborn, they called him Adokshaja, born from beneath the axle of the cart.
Where are
we are at text 70-75, just next one. Sridhara Swami explains in his commentary that Krishna was called Adokshaja because he was as if born again under the axle of the cart. Because they thought that Nanda thought that Krishna had been saved from death by good fortune. Thus he was considered born again. It's like he's born again because he was practically going to die. So it's like a new life. Okay, so these are specific names just for Krishna.
So why this discussion is appearing here? What is the point?
I think the point is that Krishna is superior to Vishnu.
Yes, but how? What's the idea? Because
of this
are applicable for both, but Krishna has unique names.
Unique names which signify unique pastimes.
So he has something that Vishnu doesn't have.
Yeah, exactly, that's the point. So he goes about to prove this in different ways, quoting the pastimes of Jaya and Vijaya, and now giving the example of the names which are different and specific for Krishna. And there will be more and more proofs and discussions. Now, we're not going to read through all of this. This is just a, Yes, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I just want to ask something about the previous topic. So, it looks like Rupa Goswami is making the point that if Krishna kills someone, if there is no attraction, he is not getting liberation.
Yeah.
One way or the other, he has to be attracted to the form of Krishna. Like
yes. That's the point, as far as I can tell.
And what's the problem with Rama and Narasimha? It's not so easy to be attracted to their forms, not as easy as Krishna. Or
for the demons, it is not possible to be attracted. Only Krishna can attract them. Rama and Nrsimha just don't decide by their sweet will to emanate this supremely attractive Shakti that will absorb the mind. And also the problem with Hiranyakashipu and Ravana is that they didn't know that this is Krishna. They were not aware that this is the Supreme Lord. Shishupala was aware, though. But he hated him because he knew that the same Krishna killed me in my previous 2 births. So this contributed to his already raging anger and hatred, malice towards the Lord. And he was just in Krishna consciousness all the time, although in a negative way. So as far as I can tell, this is what he's trying to prove.
So the thing should be there, like one is knowledge about the Lord,
Yeah.
and the other is full concentration on the mind on the Lord.
And then he'll be attracted. The mind should be, absorbed.
Well, because if you're not attracted to something, it's difficult to be absorbed.
Yeah, this is the point that we started the class. Therefore, we try to develop our attraction to Krishna so that we become absorbed. Otherwise, if we're not attracted, Hare Krishna, then it will be just another routine, another formality in our life. We have to go through so many formalities and routine activities throughout the day, and this will be just one of them. Okay, I have to get up, brush my teeth, take a shower. It's nothing special, it's just another thing I have to do. So then I have to go to Mangalarti, another thing. No attraction. I have to chant my rounds, just another thing I have to do. So it's a formal thing, and if we're not attracted, if you don't have the taste, then it will continue like this. Of course, we will be purified gradually. This is the problem with the Mayavadis, with the impersonalists. And this is the problem with so many people who believe in God, but they don't really accept Him as a person. Because
so they have religion, but their religion is not their life.
Yes.
They have religion and then they have life. And in life they do what they want to do, and religion is just because everyone has religion and I have to have it.
It's something you do on Sunday, going to the temple, to the church, and this is the religious aspect of your life. This is something that you do as obligation, but the real life, the real fun is somewhere else. The real fun is before you go to the church and after you get out of the church. This is the real fun, or the temple, or whatever. We're not targeting now specific religious community. It's just it's universal principle, applicable to us also.
So can we say then that we have to find aspect of Krishna in Krishna consciousness that we really relate to, so that we can spontaneously put our mind there, whatever it is, like Harinam or
something.
Deity worship or cooking for Krishna.
Taking prasadam.
Taking prasadam.
And therefore we have the 9 forms of bhakti. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu Bhakti Chennava Lakshana Kriyata Bhagavatyada Tatmanya Dhitam Uttamam. If somebody is engaged in this 9, Prahlad Maharaj says, Tatmanya Dhitam Uttamam. For me, because his father was asking, what is the best thing that you learn in school? And Prahlad Maharaj said, whoever is engaged in this 9, he is the Uttama, he is the, as far as I can tell, this is the best person. And this is the greatest occupation. So we can choose in between. Prabhupada makes the point in different places in his purports. Although in Chaitanya Charitamrita it is clearly stated that amongst all these forms of bhakti, chanting of the holy name is the highest. Still, in other places, Prabhupada says that you can be absorbed in any one of them, and you'll get the result of all. So, whatever works. Of course, we have to chant because this is the Yuga Dharma. But reading Bhagavatam is also. Yes.
So many purports of Prabhupada I see, because with some devotee we had like a friendly arguments on which one is more important, hearing or chanting?
Yeah.
And I was making the point, yes, hearing is important because this is how you start the process of devotional service, but actually chanting is more.
Can we combine chanting and hearing?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Yeah. But anyway, lately in so many purports, like Prabhupada is repeating again and again and again, like the hearing is the most important anga bhakti. Of course, each one is.
The hearing or the chanting?
Hearing.
Hearing, yeah.
He's putting the stress in.
Yeah. Because one reason could be because if we don't hear properly, we cannot chant. We will lose the enthusiasm for chanting.
Yes.
Just like
That's
chanting. Yeah, that's the point. Because just like we were hearing this devotee, he was telling us, Nityananda Ram Prabhu, he told us that he was talking to Prabhupada for a couple of hours, for 3 hours they spoke, and then the discussion was, one of the topic was Prabhupada was telling him, you have to read, I have to read Bhagavad Gita every day. Because while chanting, sometimes you become disconnected. You're just chanting, but you don't remember anymore why you're chanting, you think about something. But while reading, you feel connected very, very strongly. So read every day you have to read Bhagavad Gita. then your chanting will become very, very good, sublime. Or some devotees, they say the most important is association with devotees, because by association with devotees then you chant. But if you only chant and you don't associate with devotees, then it's a good chance that you stop chanting. So the point is that we have to be absorbed in something, and humans, I mean, not only the humans, the soul, the spirit soul has this potency, that this nature, inherent nature, that it is a person. And personalities, they are attracted by other persons. And if God is impersonal, that means spirituality will remain a tedious, boring ritual. Because there is no person there to attract us. It will remain on the level of, at most, sadhana bhakti, but this is on a good day. It will be just a formality. And the real life, the real fun will be in material world. So all these people who accept God as impersonal, or maybe they accept Him as a person, theoretically, nominally, but they don't really know a lot about Him as a person, they're gonna stay on this level of formal religious rituals. They'll be pious to some extent, in some aspects, but in many other they'll be impious. And they definitely will not be able to absorb their mind in spiritual activity, because there is nothing to attract them. Again, the same principle, because Krishna is not there. And Krishna only can attract us to such a degree, to absorb our mind. Who is going to attract us in this way? Brahman? Or some deity that we say he's God, but we don't really, he's a person, but we don't really know his name, his form, his pastimes. The very idea of having pastimes is very weird for most of the people, yes.
I mean, if you think about it, like when someone is saying he is attracted by Brahman, okay, but if you ask him, so why are you attracted by this Brahman? Again, he will describe some qualities. He'll say it's like effulgence, or I feel some whatever.
Peace, harmony.
Yeah, or warmth, or whatever. Some quality should be there. You're attracted by
enlightenment, yes. And these are Krishna's qualities. So this is the interesting, we will read here a quotation a little later. Narada Muni was attracted first by the effulgence, then when he came close, he saw that there is a form, and then when he came closer, he saw that this is a person with personal attributes. And this is the transition between the impersonal Brahmavad consciousness and then Shanta Rasa. when the devotees, the Shanta Bhaktas, or the impersonalists, they realize suddenly that the source of this feeling of harmony, of peace, of being enlightened, of being one with everything, in a sense that we all brothers. The source of this is Krishna. He is the person. This is the source. So then now they understand this, and this is their realization. This is how they become Shanta Bhaktas. And if they want, they can proceed. If they don't want, they can stay there. In other words, we have to really try our best to develop this spiritual taste as soon as possible, although we cannot force it, but we have to be really determined. Because if we don't develop it, then it's just a matter of time when our material taste will surface again. Right now, Krishna is keeping us on some plateau, but the inundation will come. The flood is coming. There's no question. There will be the waves of raging ocean of material existence. The water will rise, and then this plateau will be flooded. So we have to climb up as soon as possible, up. Otherwise, you will be swept away again. That's my firm conviction. I don't know. Anyway. Although Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that Krishna will protect us from falling down if we continue to commit offenses. If they are not so severe, Krishna will protect us from falling down, although we will not be able to advance. So it is possible to stay for a while on this, but we have to dynamically advance. Otherwise, Maya will... maybe we think we are protected, but she has ways to enter and to smash our so-called protection, our armor, and take us out and do terrible stuff. And she's very cruel. Material nature is no mercy. Okay. Hare Krishna. So I wanted to read this. These are examples of names. This is text 7880. These are examples of names which have a different cause when they are used to describe Krishna. The reason that names are used for Krishna are different from the reasons that they are used for Narayana. What is the question of liberation for the demons and haters of the Lord from other forms of the Lord? Unless they are killed by the hand of Krishna, they cannot attain liberation. So this is the conclusion of the discussion. This is understood from the use of the word eva twice in Gita, in the verses where Krishna says, Mam aprapya eva, not attaining me. Bhagavad Gita 16, 19, 20. So these verses, so here's the verse. Bhagavad Gita 6:19. Tamaham dvishata kruram samsareshu naradaman kshipami ajasram ashubhan asurish eva yonishu. Those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, I perpetually cast into the ocean of material existence, into various demoniac species of life. And then the next verse, 20. Attaining repeated birth amongst the species of demoniac life, O son of Kunti, such persons can never approach me. Gradually they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. So here, the specific word that is quoted is Mam aprapya eva. Mam, me, aprapya, without achieving, eva, certainly. So such persons can never approach me, Krishna says. And now, we will read Rupa Goswami's rendition of this verse. So this was Prabhupada's translation. And now how Rupa Goswami states it. I cast those hateful, cruel, and lowest of humans, constantly doing evil deeds, into repeated birth and death in the wombs of demons. Taking birth as demons, birth after birth, these fools, not being killed by my hand, then go to the lowest status of life as son of Kunti. So here, mam aprapya means not being killed by my hand. And it may sound like something very esoteric. Oh, now we learned something new, therefore we should read books of the Acharyas because they say something that Prabhupada didn't. If you go to Veda base and read the purport to this verse, Srila Prabhupada says at the end, the placing of the asuras, the demons, in the lowest status of life is simply another feature of Krishna's mercy. Sometimes the asuras are killed by the Supreme Lord, but this killing is also good for them. For in Vedic literature, we find that anyone who is killed by the Supreme Lord becomes liberated. There are instances in history of many asuras, Ravana, Kamsa, Hiranyakashipu, to whom the Lord appeared in various incarnations just to kill them. Therefore, God's mercy is shown to the asuras if they are fortunate enough to be killed by Him. So Prabhupada says it. It's right there. This is from Acharya's commentaries. But we have to read carefully. As long, text 83 and 84. As long as those who hate me do not contact me in the form of Krishna, contact me. He's my contact. They attain low birth. This is clearly stated. Therefore, of the three forms of Nrisimha, Rama and Krishna, Krishna is the best. This is not astonishing because the nature revealed in Krishna is not seen in the others. Alright? And then, text 86. There is the following objection. Now we will deal with several doubts. But it is said in the scriptures, such as Mahabharata Purana, all the forms of the Lord are eternal, appearing constantly within the material world, with bodies of Paramatma, without any destructible elements made of Prakriti. They are completely filled with the highest bliss and knowledge, full of all good qualities and devoid of all faults. So here the doubt is, you're saying that there is a gradation in the Paravasta form of the Lord. But in Shastra it is stated that they're all perfect. So how is this not contradictory? And then, text 87, just as the Vaidurya gem glows blue, yellow, and other colors, so the Lord, by different meditations, attains different forms. So this is continuing the argument of the opponent. This example they give this analogy. You're saying that Krishna is higher, but it's not, cannot say that because just as the Vaidura gem appears in different colors, so the Lord, by different meditations, attains different forms, but they're the same. And then text 88. Therefore, why it is explained that there are no differences? Therefore, why it is explained that there are differences among the avatar forms? It is said in the scriptures that they are all complete, since they are all the Supreme Lord. So here the argument of the opponent finishes, and now the answer is, however, the avatars do not display all the powers. This is the answer. This verse gives the answer to the objection. This is the commentary of Baladev Vidyabhushan. Though all these forms, that is the Vilasa and Svamsha, are complete like the Svayamrupa, all powers are not displayed in any form which is Vilasa or Svamsha. Though the scriptures say that all those forms are complete. So we agree with what they are saying. They are quoting the Shastra, we agree with that. We don't say, no, this is bogus. We don't accept Mahabharata Purana. No, we accept. So though the scriptures say that all these forms are complete, there are also statements such as Etek Chamsha Kalapumsa, which explain that Krishna is the Amshi. So, but there are other statements So we have to take both. We cannot say that this is true and this is false. Both should be true. And how are they true? So now the acharyas, they will harmonize them. They will explain how there is no contradiction. It is correct to say that all forms are perfect, since they possess all good qualities. But there is no fault in calling Krishna the Amshi, because he displays all of the qualities, whereas the Vilasa and Svamsha forms do not. If this explanation is not accepted, then the later statement, Eti Chamsha Kalapamsa, should have to be rejected. So here, their point is all avatars, all forms are equal. Fair enough, but then if we take it in the way they take it, then we will have to reject part of Shastra. For example, our Mahavakya, our Paribhasha Sutra of Bhagavatam, it must be untrue. So this is a faulty proposition, because Shastra cannot be false. Therefore, Rupa Goswami explains, no, this is true. Both are true, but this is the way how it is true. So you see, he's phrasing it very carefully. Although it is correct to say that all forms are perfect, since they possess all good qualities, there is no fault in calling Krishna the Amshi. Amshi means the Supreme One. There is no fault. Because he displays all the qualities all the time, and others don't. This is our explanation. And it keeps the integrity of both statements intact. Amsha.
Can we say that from your point of Tattva, they are the same because they are all Vishnu Tattva? But from the point of Rasa, there is gradation. Because Krishna is showing relationships that no other avatar is meant.
Yes. This is our logic. Rasa, or later we will read, it's Shakti. Because Shakti is Rasa. Because Shakti means... Shakti means... therefore the Mayavadis say Brahman doesn't have Shakti. And consequently no Rasa. There is no Rasa. No relationship. Because Shakti means that the personality extends himself and he interacts with other personalities through his Shakti, and then there is Rasa. Otherwise there is just Brahman, Nirguna Brahman. Okay. Amsha means manifesting at all times only a small portion of the powers of the Lord. Purna means manifesting many of the powers by the Lord's free will. So this is Amsha and Purna. Someone may argue that since the Vilasa and Svamsha form, this purport is very important here. It's very interesting also. So let's try to read it carefully. Someone may argue that since the Vilasa and Svamsha forms possess all the qualities, then they must they must sometimes show all these qualities. Okay? So you say that they possess all the qualities, but they don't show it. So, but if they possess it, at least from time to time they should show it. This is the argument. This verse defeats this argument by describing the characteristics of the Amsha. Amshatvam here means the position of Tathakatma Rupa. Krishna, when taking the form of Narayana, will display only the qualities which have been described in relation to Narayana in the scriptures, and will not display all the qualities of Krishna. Thus there is no contradiction in describing the Vilasa and Svamsha forms as partial manifestation. So here my question is then, when Krishna, I think we already discussed this in the beginning, but again, I would like to ask you, what do you think? When Krishna, in these pastimes, Vraja pastimes, when he takes the form of Narayana, then is he to hide from the gopis? So is he... So what is the question?
Is he Krishna or is he Narayana?
Yeah, well, when taking the form of Narayana here, it says, will display only the qualities of Narayana. So Krishna takes the form of Narayana, and the gopis don't recognize him. But is he still? But then Radharani recognizes him, so that means he didn't. He didn't display only the qualities of Narayana. He displayed the qualities of Krishna also, because she saw him as Krishna. Anyway, he's very esoteric. Okay. Could be both. Could be also, no, you go ahead.
It looks like the mood is the mood of Krishna.
Yeah.
Because Krishna is reciprocating with unmarried gopis in the middle of the forest.
Yeah.
Narayana wouldn't do that because it's outside of his relationship with his Shaktis. He doesn't do that.
Yes.
It's a different manifestation. So the mood is actually not the mood.
Yes, and as we remember from the beginning of the course, I'm thinking about three things simultaneously. So I'm losing the thread. As we know from the beginning, when there was the example of is Vasudev Krishna? No, is Krishna when he manifests four arms to deal with Rukmini when she was fainting? It's Krishna with four arms. So is this, the question was, is this a Svamsha? Or what is it? It is Svayamrupa or it is not Svayamrupa? So the answer was, it is still Krishna, it is the Svayamrupa form. Because there is no difference in the mood, it's the same mood. So the mood is more important than the form. Although there is no difference between the form and the Lord, still we take the mood as predominant. This is the primary factor and the form is secondary. So he can be Krishna with four arms, no problem.
So the form is following the mood.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Therefore we see when Krishna is with his 6,108 queens, he has slight difference in form, in height, in weight, according to the desire of the particular queen.
Yeah, good point. So it always follows. And also in Brahma Samhita it is stated that this applies to the devotees also. According to the devotee's mood, the devotee will attain certain form in the spiritual world. Or not attain, just inherit this form, because this is his own form. If you develop this specific attraction to Krishna as a cowherd boy, you will attain this form. Because it is conducive to express this form of love. Because in the material world it's not always like that. You feel like a girl from inside. You want to express the love of a girl, but you have male body, so what you gonna do now? So in the spiritual world this is not happening because automatically the form follows the mood. And here, yes.
Indra came to Brahma praise to Krishna, and he states at this point that your form is transcendental when you appear according to the desire of your devotee. And in the purport, Prabhupada says that Krishna is so pleased and attracted to his pure devotee that he becomes pliable to him, somewhat pliable. So that means that he changes according to the mood.
There was a lecture by our revered Diksha Guru, His Holiness Devamrita Swami, who was talking about the conversation between Sanatana Goswami and Lord Chaitanya, and the lecture was entitled "The Lord's Transformation," how the love of the devotee transforms the Lord. The Lord is transformed by the love of the devotee. And the devotee is also transformed by the Krishna's love and affection. So they both transform. Just like you have the sandhis in Sanskrit, grammar, so Yatidam Sandhi Nirmanam Varnanam Arabhayamuda Tename Krishna Padabjay Manasandhi Ityatam. When, just like the mind is transformed in the by the proximity of Krishna, the mind is transformed. In the same way, one letter is transformed when there is another letter in a word. So they are transformed. A becomes E, or double A becomes E. It's transformed. It's the nature of personal relationship. That means you are accommodating the other person. Means you recognize that this person is not just an object, because you don't transform for an object. The object has to ice cream. You don't transform because of the ice cream. You absorb the ice cream, devour it, and then the ice cream transforms. You don't have to do anything to accommodate the ice cream.
After you accommodate the ice cream,
you may be transformed. Right. That's a good point. But
it works in
yeah. And also we know in this school that he's been pointed out many times that when you eat Mahaprasadam Rasagula, you are in the feminine position, when the Rasagula is the masculine. Because why? Because because it purifies you. Anyway.
But then what would be like a good example of the opposite? A devotee changing his form, expression according to the law of Krishna. What can we say as an example of that? I'm trying to think, but
Yeah.
I cannot.
Well, no. Like in this conversation between Sanatana Goswami and Lord Chaitanya, Sanatana Goswami was moved in ecstasy by the mercy of the Lord, because Mahaprabhu gave him so much mercy, and then that's what it means, the ecstasy of the devotee, because it increases. The devotee is offering the prayers and praying to the Lord, then the Lord appears, gives him the mercy, and then the devotee is moved, transformed. He advances. When Krishna touched Dhruva Maharaj, he couldn't offer prayers, then Dhruva Maharaj transformed. He offered very eloquent prayers to the Lord. When Mother Yashoda wanted to bind Krishna, it didn't happen. Then Krishna gave her mercy, and then she was able to bind Krishna.
So the devotee changes always, according to these examples, it changes always according to the mercy of the Lord. There is always this direction that the Lord gives mercy, and then the devotee changes. The Lord gives mercy, then the devotee changes.
Yeah, and also the devotee, and also Krishna changes. Just like Radharani and Krishna, they're transformed constantly because of their love. Yeah. What other example? In Brihad Bhagavatamrita, there is a description of devotees having different forms in Vaikuntha. Some of them look like Nrsimhadev, because they worship Nrsimhadev and they transform it into Nrsimhadev form. So some look, they are in different colors, different shapes. Not all of them are with four hands, and like they're in the pictures of second canto of Bhagavatam. Not all of them are like this. Different colors, different shapes, different moods. According to the form of the Lord they worship, they attain similar form. In Vaikuntha. In Goloka, I think it's a little different, because then you worship Krishna, but you don't attain similar form necessarily, because you want to be Krishna's father or Krishna's friend or Krishna's lover, so you attain different form, not Krishna. But in Vaikuntha, it seems that it's a little different, because there is only one Lakshmi. So although there are many, like Sahasra. Anyway, let's continue let's be grounded in Shastra, because otherwise. So these forms such as Nrisimha, these forms such as Nrisimha do not display the qualities of giving liberation to the demons, and no attractiveness displayed by Krishna. Consequently, those forms do not give liberation to the demons. Again, here the discussion is who gives liberation to the demons. To the devotees, they all give liberation. And prema, not just liberation. All forms of God. All forms? How about the Vaivesha forms? Shakti Vaivesha Avatar, they also give some. Okay, but here we're talking about the demons. Only Krishna gives liberation to the demons. Proposing that all the forms display all the powers will be contrary to the conclusion of scriptures. It is described in the Bhagavatam that Lakshmi desired the dust of Krishna's feet. If Narayana manifested all qualities of Krishna, this would not occur. So this is one proof. You say they're all exactly the same. And we say the same. They are the same, but they manifest different qualities. So you have problem with this. Okay, if you're right, then this would not have happened. Lakshmi would not have desired association with Krishna, because why? There is no difference. Why would she do that? If Rama manifested all qualities of Krishna, the sages, on seeing Rama, will not have desired to see Krishna. We know this story about the sages in the forest. They saw Ramachandra, they desired to become connected with him in a Madhurya Rasa, and then they had to wait for Krishna to appear. But this is described in the Padma Purana. If the three Purusha forms had all qualities of Krishna, they would not be described in Brahma Samhita as Krishna's amshas. And also, there would have been no need for Mahavishnu to steal the children of this Brahmana so that Krishna would come and give him darshan, because he is Krishna. So all this proves the point that Krishna is Bhagavan Swayam. In many scriptures, it is described that Sankarshan takes Vasudeva as his superior and worships him. And Lakshmana and his brothers worship Rama with great devotion. If they all displayed full powers, this will be impossible. Though Balaram is Krishna's elder brother, he speaks as follows. Who is this mystic power? And where has she come from? Is she a demigod or a demoness? She must be the illusory energy of my master, Lord Krishna. For who else can bewilder me? So all these arguments are rooted in impersonalism. Although they may be devotees who are making these arguments, but still there is some impersonal influence because they want to equal everything. All forms are equal. All are equal. But then where is the rasa? As the French say, long live the differences. Because differences, they create rasa. If we're all the same, what is the fun in life?
Also, in Chaitanya Charitamrita Mahaprabhu, I think he's explaining to either Sanatana or Goswami, I don't remember, but yes. He explains that he says either the main difference or the difference between Krishna and his avatars is that Krishna is having Prabhu Jnana, he knows that he is the Supreme, while all other incarnations, expansions of Krishna, they have Bhakta Abhimana, they are devotees towards Krishna, they have this mood of a devotee toward Krishna. As we can see with all these instances, Rama is worshipping, Vishnu is trying to have darshan with Krishna.
Yeah. And then Krishna is thinking, well, they're all having more fun than me, even my expansions, because they're all servants. And аз съм най-предсакан от всички, аз съм господар. So then I have to do something so he becomes Lord Chaitanya to render service. So they all become servants at the end, or even Krishna. Yeah. And also, these are relationships between living entities, between personalities. So you cannot tell Lakshman that your worship of Ramachandra is illusion. You are equal to him. Again, as Tulsikur pointed out, this is tattva and rasa. Tattva, normally, it shouldn't poke its nose in the rasa realm, because it only creates disturbance for us.
So that would mean that in Tattva, we know Krishna is is the Supreme. But in Rasa, who is Supreme is according to the mood and the desire of the devotee. Like you said, with Lakshmana, and we can take Murari Gupta. They may on Tattva, apart from Rasa, their Supreme is Rama. Their goal is Rama, their highest object of worship is Rama, it's not Krishna.
Yeah. And Mahaprabhu approved this. Personally, he approved this. This reminds me about the discussion of the different rasas in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, where Rupa Goswami and Srila Prabhupada, they explained that although all these relationships are absolute and they are perfect, still from an impartial point of view, we cannot avoid the conclusion that the Madhurya rasa is the highest. So although it is true, Ramachandra is the highest rasa and tattva for his devotees, still from an impartial point of view, we have to conclude that Krishna is the highest.
Just thinking that these are two different realms, like the realms of love and the realms of the facts.
Yeah.
Because facts are facts.
Yeah.
But once the love is part of the picture, it doesn't matter what are the facts.
Yeah.
Like let's say you go to some kid and you tell this kid, you know your mother is not the best mother in the world. Because this other lady, she has this quality more. The kid doesn't care.
Very nice example. Yeah.
Because it's a question of
well,
love.
in fact, if you make this point, then the Child Protection Office may come and may start harassing you. So, but it's a ridiculous point. Yeah, you should not. That's why I said that the tattva should stay. It's just all these dry scholars stay in your place and discuss, quote Upanishads, but. Often these people are kind of socially awkward. They don't really know how to deal with people many times. So they shouldn't go from their realm and try to impose their tattva into the realm of rasa.
And that's why, like if you take these two realms of bhakti, why this realm of bhakti?
At the same time, they're one realm. Because Jiva Goswami also says that these discussions of... There is no difference when the devotees... Sorry, just remember what you want. There is no difference when the devotees discuss these very technical points of the philosophy and when they discuss the intimate pastimes of Radha Krishna. For them, there is no difference. It's the same realm, but in order to see it in this way, you have to be mature enough. Otherwise, it's two realms, and then rasabas happens. Sorry, you wanted to?
Yeah, because for a very, 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 very advanced devotee, actually, he won't see the technical philosophy things as just technical boring.
Yeah.
For him, this is rasa actually.
Yeah.
Because he's getting to know more and more his worship of the Lord.
And therefore, also, Vaikuntha people, Vaikuntha devotees like Bhishmadev, they appreciate the gopis very much. They know, although they are happy with their position, they know these are the highest devotees. They're higher than me. But I am who I am. And therefore, yeah.
So this is like one of the basic difference between material consciousness and spiritual consciousness. In material consciousness, if someone is the best and you're not the best, you'll get frustrated. But in spiritual consciousness, we see, like again, Laghu Bhagavatamrita, as you mentioned, the devotees, no matter where they are, they're happy with their service. I mean, they're happy with their position. They don't aspire for higher, but they know that they're higher devotees and they appreciate it. It's not like, oh, these gopis, they don't know the glories of Lord Rama.
Yeah. And not only appreciate, they will point out, like in the Laghu Bhagavatamrita, all of them they're pointing out. No, I'm not the most advanced devotees. Uddhava is more advanced. The Pandavas are more advanced. What's happening? And
I have a question. Is like these four sampradayas, bona fide sampradayas, On Tattva, they all accept Krishna Swayam Bhagavan?
No.
No, right? What? Okay. What is the difference?
There will be discussion, a long discussion on this topic here. But the difference is, it's the same person. It's the same person.
Who are they accepting?
Vishnu.
Supreme. They accept Vishnu. Only
Vishnu
we
is-
are accepting Krishna.
They say that yes, Krishna is avatar of Vishnu, and he manifests these very sweet pastimes, but still Vishnu is supreme, because at all times he is supreme. He never. You see, they take this criteria as more important. Who is the boss? Who is the big boss? And Vishnu, there is no case when Vishnu is not the supreme. He's always the supreme, the enjoyer. But Krishna, sometimes he doesn't act as the supreme. He is like Balakeli. He's sitting with his left hand this sweet, and Brahma is bewildered. He also doesn't understand that he's the supreme. So, from this point of view, Vishnu is higher because he's always maintaining his supremacy. Krishna, sometimes he slips from this position. And we say the opposite. Well, this is the proof that Krishna is higher because of the sweetness. He allows you to come closer to him. He doesn't need to be God. Sometimes most of the time, he doesn't act as one.
Yeah. This is not true, actually. Vishnu is always showing his supremacy, because there are so many cases in Shastra that can disprove this. Like immediately, some examples like Laghu Muni.
Okay.
Vishnu stops being God.
Yeah.
Or Rishi Maharaj went through a ghost and seeks for shelter. The Supreme Lord, he says, I cannot help you.
Durvasa, yeah.
In bottom line, devotee actually I stay in a subordinate position. So actually, there will be so many examples in Shastra that when it comes to realm of rasa, the
Even
Supreme
Vishnu
Lord loses his supreme position.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole idea of the Vaishnava philosophy. If you don't have this element, how through love you're going to conquer the Supreme Lord? It's not possible. Then why you're talking about the Bhakti being the Supreme? Doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Then Jnana is supreme.
Jnana or karma, whatever, you do certain things and then God is obliged to give you a position or surrender.
So that would mean that, like, for us, Krishna in Bhagavad Gita is Krishna, but for them, Krishna is Vishnu. And for us, Jagannath or Jagannath Puri is Krishna, but for them, this is a form of Vishnu.
Yeah. But he's the same person. That's another thing, we shouldn't make too big a distinction between Krishna and Vishnu, because he's the same person. And we don't have problem with that. Neither do they have problem with us. It's just some more neophyte representatives, members of the two groups, they like to quarrel. But
so basically they are saying it's a one person, but we say the most intimate relationships you can have with this person is when he's in the office and everything is official. And we say, no, it's not like that. Yes, you can have some relationships there, but actually the real relationships are when you go home. And they say, no, the home relationships, we don't accept them as...
yeah, it's not the real one. He's
when you are on work and you're working.
Supreme Judge, he's in the Supreme Court, this is the real thing. At home, and we say the opposite. Okay, you go in the Supreme Court and be formal. we wanna have some fun. Because Krishna, not that we want, but Krishna wants to have fun, and we want to help and assist in this fun, because he is beyond God. Krishna is beyond God, even. But these are not such a big deal. And we were down in South, and we have been always treated well by the Madhvas, by the Shris. They know who we are, and we got always very nice reception. So it seems for them it's not a big deal. Neither should be for us. shouldn't become like the other groups, killing each other because of rather subtle theological differences, subtleties. We are Vaishnavas. Okay, you wanted to say something? Om Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai, Samavata Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai, Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande.